Afternoon, entrepreneurial clinicians. Welcome to Tuesday, the 30th of June. Happy end of financial year for all the Australians who are madly doing all the things associated with tax. I hope the things that you are not doing include: where are all my receipts? Have I put money aside to pay tax? Oh my God, my superannuation is due. Because we're much better business owners than that, and we have all of that sorted and squared away so that July is not a super stressful month. Got it? Got it. Excellent. You may have noticed I had a absolutely wonderful time away with my husband. The weather was spectacular. I was so relaxed. I didn't do a lot. We ate out. We went to a community that had been impacted by both bushfires, floods, and COVID, and we have I guess community commitment here in Australia at the moment to holiday at home or go to a community that has been affected by all of these things. And it was such a delight. Number one, holiday for me means someone else makes my food and makes my bed. Had to make my own bed, but people were making my food, and they were so appreciative of us, and it was just delightful to be on the water. Thank you, Linda. Around an environment that just makes me feel happy and full of joy. I spent a lot of time in this community as a kid while I was growing up, and it gave me opportunity to reflect and really miss my parents. And really miss my family of origin and miss being a little girl. But I got to share some of those stories and with my husband, because he didn't know me then, and that was a bit delightful to be able to do that as well. It's whale watching season here on the east coast of New South Wales. So there were lots of whales about, lots of sea life around. We didn't get out onto the water this year because it was friggin' cold. It was just really cold, and I didn't want to get sick because chances are that would not bode well for me at the moment. And you all know what it's like when you go out and you hear somebody cough. It's like, oh my gosh, what's happening right now? So I didn't want to be a part of that. It was just, and I got to connect with my grandmother on the way down. I still have two grandmothers who are alive. They outlived both my parents, and it was delightful to see her on the way to Huskisson, and then I got to see my nieces and nephews, my gorgeous sister and my brother-in-law on the way home. So it's really filled my soul and made me feel very, I don't know, I feel good. And I can tell you I have more energy and more vitality today than I've had in months. So all of that horrible drug is out of my body. And I tell you what, the medical professionals are going to really struggle to get me back onto that. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, I'll catch you up one day. So the important announcement I need to make is this Friday, the 3rd of July, I'm going to be starting chemotherapy. Now, I've known about this for a couple of weeks, but it's taken me this long to actually go, holy crap, that's what needs to happen. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the results. I'm not looking forward to the process. I have made a decision that this is what my medical team are recommending. It significantly reduces my risk of distant cancer or metastasized cancer in the next 10 years. And following on from chemotherapy, I'm then going to be having really significant surgery. So I've got a few months ahead of me where I'm going to be feeling a bit less than, not feeling so great, and won't be around as much. So I wanted to talk into that today because my private practice doesn't need me to survive. And we demonstrated that last year when I was in Europe for 6 weeks, and the business actually did better. So I got out of the way and the business was able to grow. And I've spoken to my team, and I've spoken to the awesome Sophie, and we've got really good infrastructure in place. And I feel very confident that my private practice is still going to be out there serving the people it needs to serve, and doing the things that we do. Now, for me, not working at all is akin to asking me to not look at the sun or not enjoy sunshine. Work is a really significant part of my life, and research actually tells us that work is good for our health. So for me to not work at all is not a good solution. Oh, hello, Debbie. Thank you. Now I know now that working full time, I haven't been out of work full time since February as I've been recovering from the first lot of treatment and that stupid medication. And I'm not back to my full fitness for work yet. And we're not going to get there in probably for another 6 months or so. But there are some things I'm going to keep doing. One is I'm going to keep running You the Entrepreneurial Clinician. I love that group. That is an amazing community of clinicians, and it is the way you can get access to me at a very, very cost-effective, affordable price. It's plenty of room. So if you want to spend some time with me and get access to some really great coaching and learn from some amazing clinicians in private practice, then you really need to be a part of this community. I'm also going to continue with my high level community, which we have renamed ourselves as the Daring Dozen. They like to put divas at the end of it. I'm not convinced on that. So the Daring Dozen. And we meet every 2 weeks online, and we have an incredible community. You can only get invited to that group. So that's going to keep me alive. I love running these groups. I love running these training. These make me feel alive. I have some one-on-one coaching clients, probably nowhere near as many as you might expect, and I'm not looking to grow that at the moment because I want to be able to serve the people in my world that I'm committed to right now and do that really, really well. And I want to make sure that I can continue to deliver on those promises that I make in my business, which is that I'm going to be there beside you, helping you do the things that you don't think you can do right now and show you that we can do them together, which is going to be amazing. I need to stay on top of the operations in my business. I need to stay on top of the finances in my business, and I really want to support my team. This is an opportunity now for me to impart my 20 years of knowledge into my team members, because I just assume people know what I know. They don't. And now I get an opportunity to impart into them. So it sounds like I'm going to be really busy. Probably not, just going to be very conscious about where my time and energy is spent. The great news about this video series, though, as we know from last time I needed to step away, is that this community is incredibly strong. So I have already been out talking to people, asking for guests to come on, and I've got a few already lined up and a few in the pipeline. So this is private practice. Thanks, Montoya. This is private practice is going to continue. And there's going to be some guest episodes, and there'll be some updates from me, and we're going to continue to build this community and continue to show people what it takes to actually be a clinician in this modern world, and what are the things that we need to be mindful of, and how do we do this work without burning out? How do we do this work while prioritizing our health, and how do we stay fit for purpose? Really cool news. The day before I went on leave, I was actually asked to speak on that very topic, on how we stay fit for purpose. So I'm looking forward to getting my head into that. Probably not the week of chemo though, because you're all going to talk to me about chemo fog. It's all right. I know about chemo fog. I've been living with autoimmune fog. I know all about the brain fog. So it's not goodbye. It's just things are going to be a little different for a little while. And I know you're going to be championing me. You're going to want to support me, and you're going to want to love me, and you're going to want to make sure that I'm doing things to look after myself. Want you to know a couple of things. One, I've got an amazing medical team. I have fought very hard to get the medical team that I have. I trust them. It's a combination of Western medicine and complementary medicine. I have an amazing support structure around me. There are people who have known about this, who I've brought into a very tight inner circle, and they have very specific roles. You've all met Nicola before. And there are other people who are keeping me grounded, making sure that I don't overwork or underwork. Thank you, Sonia. I have people who send me messages making sure that if I'm not well enough to get out of bed in the morning, that it's okay. Thank you, Kylie. I have my husband who constantly looks at my eyes and my face to make sure that I am not a migraine waiting to happen. Thank you, John. And I've got some chemo buddies lined up to take me to those appointments and help me stay calm. Because I'll be really honest with you right now. I'm terrified of this chemotherapy thing. one of the struggles I have, being the type of clinician that I am, I tend to work with people who've had adverse reactions to things. I don't, my experience with people recovering from injury, illness, and trauma is the people who've had really, really difficult recoveries. It's where my mojo is. It's what I'm good at. I'm very good at putting all the jigsaw pieces together and creating the whole again. So I'm not used to hearing stories of people who ran marathons or walked the Camino or swam the English Channel, which apparently people do while they're on chemotherapy. I hear of people who can't get out of bed for 12 weeks or vomited for 24 hours straight or ended up needing to be admitted to emergency department because their heart went into failure and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm scared. I'm really scared. So if you want to fill my comments with good news stories about cancer or chemotherapy process survival, I'm all over that, and I will ask for that. No, hands down. That is cool. So I feel like I'm rambling now, which is possibly unhelpful for you. But I did want to actually come in today and share with you what's going to be happening over the next couple of months for me. And I am looking forward to being able to get through the end of this and go, look what you can do, and look at how we manage a significant diagnosis as a business owner. I will say this though, I am so incredibly grateful for my insurance broker who helped me purchase the right insurance for me back in 2013. So if you are in private practice, actually, I don't care if you're employed, you need to make sure that your personal insurances, your income protection, your disability insurance, your trauma insurance, please go and review those policies, because we can get really resentful about paying this money out every month. And yep, the premiums go up the older you get. But I can stand here today and tell you I am so incredibly grateful for the policies that were recommended to me and for the insurance company that was recommended to me, because it really has been seamless and it has taken so much pressure off me knowing that that is taken care of. Now, we've still got some hoops to jump through because insurance companies and there are pieces of paper missing, but I'm confident that the pressure for me about needing to turn up to work, perform at work, do the work to be rewarded with the income or that exchange of value, that pressure's been taken off me. And I have talked about this at length in the early episodes of This is Private Practice. I've blogged on this a lot. We have to take responsibility for our financial health as well as our physical health. Robert Pate. Oh, hello, Robert Pate. Yes, thank you. Even stronger. I'm starting to get a sense that coming through this, I will be a little different. Things could be different. I was talking to my physiotherapist or physical therapist this morning and just letting her know what's going to happen. You know, this happens, then this happens, then this happens. And then I said, and then I will walk the Camino. I probably won't walk the Camino. I might walk 20 kilometers of it, but I might not walk the whole thing. But that's a lot of fun. So I appreciate your care. I appreciate your love. Hello, Paul. Glad that you were able to join in. Hey, congratulations on your radio interview today, Paul. That's pretty cool. So I now need to go and find ingredients because it's my husband's birthday tomorrow and I want to bake him a cake. So I'm going to do that, number one, while I have energy, and number two, just because I can, because I love him. And cake is yummy. Cake is really yummy. Just in case you needed to know that today. All right, looking forward to talking to you again this week. And we have a very special guest, at least one guest episode this week, possibly two. I am excited because it's an unusual request, but she is a dynamo. Met her back in 2015, and I am really looking forward to sharing her story with you. So God bless. Looking forward to talking to you again.